Welcome back to Disqualified Opinions. Obviously, the most opinionated podcast in all the land. It's your boy BKD back with another hot episode fresh out the oven for you. We back in the man cave. I'm not alone. DC, what's going on, bro?
What up, baby? How you feeling?
Can't complain, can't complain. Rel, what's up?
Yeah, what's going on? How y'all feeling?
Feeling good. Ross, what's up with you?
What it do, baby?
Well, we got our all black on today because these referees need it. They need to be funeralized, exiled, because I don't know what the hell is going on with the NFL and these referees. More like Foot Locker employees, as I call them. Referees in a Foot Locker outfit. But I'll start with you, Ro. Just looking back at the year so far, 5 weeks in, the PI calls, you can challenge PI, really not overturning the PI, making bad calls. We saw it egregiously this past week. What do you think about it?
It's just a mess, honestly. Like, I don't even know where to start. I don't think there has been one overturn challenge, I should say. A couple? There has been some calls where we know, like, for example, the interception on Lamar, we knew that wasn't a catch. But
The Bush one?
Yeah, like, we knew that wasn't a catch. The ball clearly hit the ground.
Assisted in the catch.
You said what?
The
Exactly.
ground
Assisted in the catch. And that's not a catch. So how does that, you feel me, how does that stand? So I don't know. It's something, we need some reconciliation with this, because this is by far like it has to be
Except
like,
for the replacement refs. That was terrible.
yeah.
The replacement refs were the worst.
We've been having problems with the refs for years. I think this is probably the worst I've seen it. So, and we're not even halfway through the year yet. That's the bad thing to me.
I think my biggest issue with it is when they first came out with this, they said that it had to be egregious. To me, it's kind of mimicking the catch rule, where what really determines an egregious pass interference call? Because pass interference is supposed to be impeding the wide receiver, tight end, running back from the ability of catching the ball. We've seen instances where even the commentators that are listening to the game are saying that's pass interference.
Exactly.
Even the referees they have that used to be referees.
Are saying that's pass interference, and they're still not overturning it. So at this point, I mean, it's the first year, so I expect some type of error with it. But we also saw in the preseason that coaches were just throwing it out there to kind of see
test the
what was going to get called and what wasn't going to get called. And now it's just like you have probably like a 10% or less chance of actually getting what might be pass interference actually called pass interference.
There's no way to gauge this, because it's like some calls they overturn, then it's like calls where we know for sure it's going to get overturned, and it's like play stands, and it's like, how do you determine what stands and what doesn't stand? Because I feel like too many times there are two plays with like kind of similar issues, and then one is overturned and one, you feel
So
me?
that's my thing. I think they just need to be consistent and
consistency.
uniform about what is and what is not pass interference.
Exactly.
By the way, you mentioned the preseason. I think that's why we need to keep it around. New rule changes. The young guys getting a chance to prove themselves at this level. That's another story for another time. But to the officiating in general, I think the pass interference rule has now been overcomplicated, similar to what the catch rule used to be.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's like whenever you see contact, they're just quick to throw a flag. And I think some of it is incidental. I was watching the Green Bay Dallas game. It was a deep ball that Dak threw, and deep ball that Aaron Rodgers threw, and the cornerback, he didn't turn his head around, and he barely touched the receiver, and they threw a flag.
Well, face guarding should be a pass interference.
Yeah, only if you make contact. He really
Or
barely
impact the play, right?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
literally
like
barely touched him at all, and the ball hit him in the back of his. If he'd have turned around, he'd have picked it off.
But that's face guarding, so that's supposed to be pass interference.
I think you still have to make contact.
That's
though.
right. It was a bad call, and it helped Aaron Rodgers win. But that's another story for another day.
No, Dak's turnovers helped Aaron Rodgers win, but we'll talk about that
Yeah,
later.
Aaron Jones played well too.
did play
Shout out
well.
to you, Aaron Jones
did play
on my
well.
Fantasy team. Now,
19 for 170 and 4 touchdowns.
yes, Rouse, you know all about that. But the
Wow.
he called me telling me how good I did. I just set the lineup and let them do what they do.
I play Aaron Jones in every single fantasy league this week, or had him. It's okay. I'm not really upset about it. It'd be like that sometimes.
That was a good call by you, though, because I wouldn't have.
I mean, whatever. I mean, to the point of officiating, though.
Should they be full time? Because they're not even full time. That's my problem.
They're
Also.
not full, but they get a full-time check, though.
Yeah.
You can say that again.
I don't know if they should be full-time because the NFL is not a 12-month organization. But I definitely think there should be some sort of uniformity to the calls that are made, because the Ravens Steelers game, there were a few very terrible calls in that game, both ways.
And that crew is usually pretty good from
So
what I heard.
that crew also threw the fourth most penalties of any crew in the NFL.
Really
So
quickly, quick side note: the NFL removed face guarding as pass interference 6 years ago.
there you go.
So that shouldn't have been called.
Shouldn't have been called.
At all.
He barely touched him. Like, I wish we could.
But just
run
like
the
you
play back.
probably had to look that up, they probably didn't know that maybe either.
I mean, it's
Some of
their
the
So many
job.
different rules changes every year.
All right, they should literally be studying in the beginning of the
But
year.
that goes back to the point. Should they be more full or
That's
more
why-
training?
But that's
I'll
why I
say that.
said, and we had this conversation. I said I feel as though for egregious no calls or bad calls, I think the refs should be fine. Just like players are fine for all of these bad hits
Yeah,
and things
I
like
agree.
that.
I agree.
I want to see refs
Maybe
fine.
they'll call it a bit.
Some sort of penalty or
Something.
something of the sort.
Yeah, something.
Because I feel as though with this, they're just looking for Saints Rams.
Or maybe
that's the only thing they're looking for.
Yeah, or maybe some type of incentive, like at the end of, you know how after each game, maybe a ref made a bad call, the NFL will look at it and be like, oh, it should have been this.
You know how the NBA does that 2-minute report at the end of games for officials? I think the NFL should do it.
Did the
throughout-
same thing,
Do it
yeah.
for the game, though.
And I think maybe like it should be like some type of incentive, like if you don't have any incidents or bad calls or something, kind of like perfect attendance. I don't know if you got like a 90,
Perfect attendance.
Yeah, you get me. Maybe like 95% correct call.
I think they
rating or
do
something.
grade
I
them.
don't
That's how
know.
you get the
Super
crew
Bowl
and
playoff
games. But I think that they could use help with an additional ref possibly in the booth. I think they should always have somebody kind of like a spotter who can oversee
see
everything.
But here's
Yeah.
the thing. That's what New York is for. When
Screw New York, because they went to New York on Sunday.
I know,
and
and
we
they
saw
were
how
still-
horrible they
they
did.
were still wrong.
They were
So
probably
it's-
drunk from the night before going out. That's why I said you need to have somebody there.
Yeah,
Personally.
it's her. I think they really need to get it figured out, like a concrete. What you feel me? If this happens, you feel me? Like something concrete.
I think with football is more or less seeing it in real time.
Mm-hmm.
I like what baseball does when they go to New York, obviously, because you can slow things down more and it's not as fast paced as football. But I think you still need somebody there who can see everything.
Now, that is one thing that I do have to kind of side with them on a little bit. When slowing things down in football, it gets really, really hard to judge certain calls. Only because there's a penalty on every play in football. Let's all be honest. Somebody's being held.
You can argue something.
And so, yeah. So it does have to be kind of fast paced. But like I said, I just feel as though they're only looking for those Saints Rams kind
Type of egregious calls.
But those are so not going to happen on a week to week.
Even the rough and the passer, both ends, the ones that were called on the Ravens, the ones that was called on the Steelers.
The one that we got at the end of the
Yes.
game
That was a
pretty
terrible
bad. It was
call.
pretty bad.
Terrible
but
call.
to me,
It
that was a
balanced
makeup
out.
call.
Yeah, because
it
they
did not
made
balance
some-
out. The Mark Andrews pass interference, the Devin Bush interception, and the fake catch fumble out of bounds. That was not a catch. Not a catch.
But that one call helped us. I'll give it
yeah,
to
that's
them.
fact. That's fact. I give you that. 3-1. Sure.
They called a ghost holding on somebody. I forgot.
You
who it
know,
was. It was-
all I'm gonna say
that
is, you
bitch
know,
from
we don't get
Ravens
many.
was
We don't get
horrible.
many. So the ones we get,
Yeah,
I
I'll
take
take
them.
'em.
I'll take. That's all
I
I'm
just
saying.
think,
I'm
in
saying.
general, though, that was a bad game to watch from an officiating standpoint.
Yeah.
And I'm not a guy that makes a big deal about refs or officials or anything. You got to play the game.
But when they affect the game and it's an
yeah, I
important
think
game,
that definitely affected the game.
because if the Ravens lose that game, that could have been a big impact to their season.
that might have been a blow to their season. So,
Exactly.
I mean, they found a way to win. Thanks, kudos to them. Shout out to John Harbaugh. But
Shout
that
out to Justin Tucker.
Shout out to Lamar and Marlon Humphrey, the two Raven MVPs.
Justin Tucker and Marlon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But I thought
definitely
Marlon should have tackled him the first time, but whatever.
I mean, hey,
I mean, it is what it
he
is.
came back and worked out in the
That's
end.
why he's
Yeah,
probably
he's
the
the
best
one.
corner in the league right now.
Probably the
Arguably.
second best.
He's
But
right
I'll
there.
give you that. I'll still put Jalen
Honestly,
on the
no,
top.
Ramsey been getting.
Well,
He ain't been
hasn't played
playing.
in 2 weeks. He hasn't
He
played
has
in
a
2 weeks.
back.
Well, at first,
issue.
I told
as
you.
in get me back.
I
about
would
his
just
action.
like to
That's
say,
what I'm saying.
2 weeks ago, I told y'all he was not sick. He went from I have the flu to I have a back.
I think we all do that.
we knew it was nonsense, but I like his dedication. Stick to
Right,
it.
I'm about to say
Stick to
he
it.
said he wanted to get traded. Then he said we knew he wasn't.
He had
Yeah,
the flu.
I like
we
it.
knew he wasn't.
Now after that, he got a bad back.
Well, we'll keep watching and see what the refs do. Still early in the season. Hopefully they get it right. And we'll be right back after this.